Hello everyone, and welcome to this new video tutorial for Maverick Render. In this video, we're going to take a look at another example using the Cutaway tool. Here you can check out the video we've put together, where the outer shell of a mechanism gets sliced away to reveal the inside. Alright, let's jump into Maverick. First up, let's create a primitive in our scene. We'll tweak its size to 3 centimeters. Let's grab the Move tool, center the primitive, and lift it up just a bit. Next, we'll hit the R key to scale it up. Let's head over to the library to drop on a cutaway material. We're looking for a double hatching material, and we'll just drag and drop this yellow one right onto our object. Now you can see it's slicing straight through the entire model in our scene. Let's dial in this cut so it only affects that outer shell. We'll select the shell of the model, jump into its properties, and assign it ID number 3. Select the cutaway material and head down to the Trace Sets section. We'll set up the exclusion so it only cuts ID 3, and to do that, we just type it in as a negative value. This way, instead of slicing through everything, it isolates the cut to just the object we actually care about. Let's swap the material out for a basic type to kill any unwanted reflections. We'll just drag and drop this new material onto the primitive. Keep in mind, whenever you drop on a new material, you'll need to reconfigure that exclusion in the trace sets. Let's move the object around just to verify the cut is working properly on the shell. Now let's tweak the scale of that internal hatching. Select the internal material for the cutaway. We'll drop the scale value down to 0.5, since we're dealing with a pretty tiny object here. We can also darken up the color a bit right from its properties. If we scrub the cutter around, you can see how the hatching updates perfectly on the fly. To get a nice 4-5 degree angle on this cut, we're going to duplicate the primitive. First, let's go to the material and tick Bypass so we can see the solid primitive. With the Move tool set to rotation, we'll hold down the Shift key and rotate the object 45 degrees to clone it. Using the Move tool, we'll snap it right into place. Let's turn Bypass back off and check out our angled cut. We'll Shift-select both cutting objects and group them into an assembly. Now we can move the entire assembly as one piece to drive the full cut. Next up, let's build out an animation. We'll head over to the Globals panel and switch the IPR mode over to Timeline. Over in the Render panel, under the Timeline tab, let's dial our resolution in at 1080 by 1080. Let's open up the Animation panel and create a Transform node. We'll drop that Transform node right onto the assembly holding our cutters. Let's stretch the animation duration on the timeline out to 120 frames. We'll set the last frame to 130, just to give the movement a nice pause at the end. Let's park the playhead at the start of the timeline and slide the assembly completely off screen. We'll jump to the final frame and set up its movement along the y-axis. Let's punch in a value of -5 so the cutter slides right through the model. We want the cut to slide in and then reverse back to its starting point. To do that, we'll head down to the easing section and tick the ping pong option. We'll also set the easing mode to ease out, so it comes in fast and eases back out slowly. Let's fire off a preview to see how the animation plays out. The preview cooks pretty fast, without final render quality, but it's perfect for verifying our timing. You can see the object slices entirely through the model and then reverses back. Finally, let's dial in our render settings. We'll drop the sampling level down to something like 7 or 8. All that's left is to set your output path and hit Final Render. That's it for now. Catch you in the next tutorial.